Hey guys, Credit Shifter here. Well, we've got some news for you. Uber, working with Barclaycard, has released its first credit card. It comes out in about a month. It's not released just yet. It's this rather swanky looking black card. Well, it's not a black card, but it's a black card. I mean, it's the color black. You know what I mean. So let's take a little bit of a rundown of the point earning and the perks of this card, and then we'll kind of analyze and talk about what I think about it. So this card will earn you 4% cash back on dining, and this includes Uber Eats, 3% back on hotel and airfare, 2% back for online purchases. Now, this includes Uber, because obviously you're using an app for Uber, so that counts as an online purchase, and 1% back on everything else. So first of all, you'll notice something, I think you'll notice something, right? Which is that the highest earning category is not Uber riding, it's dining. Okay, and that obviously includes Uber Eats because that's also food, but you only earn 2% back on Uber rides, and this is cash back, or it can also be redeemed for Uber credit or gift cards at the same rate as cash back. And that's quite unusual too. I would have guessed that you would get, you could redeem it for cash back, or you could get maybe 50% extra value or 20% extra value when you redeemed it for Uber rides, just like with the Sapphire Preferred and Sapphire Reserve. Sapphire Preferred, you get 20% extra value. Sapphire Reserve, you get 50% extra value when you redeem it for travel. So it's kind of unusual. It's not what I expected. Uber said in their press release that they've done a lot of research and asked their customers like what they want and looked at their customers' lifestyles, and that's why they've chosen these particular categories and also the perks that we're going to talk about in just a moment. And looking at it from that angle, it kind of makes sense that you would be giving 4% back on dining, because if you think about it, well, who takes Uber? Most people, like, if you're just going to the shops or you're going wherever, you often will just drive your own car, right? Unless you live in like New York City, for example, where it's really annoying to have a car, so you don't have your own car. But most people, they're only going to take an Uber if they can't drive their own car for some reason. And why wouldn't they be driving their own car? Well, possibly because they've been drinking alcohol, which means that they probably have been to a restaurant or a bar. So maybe, people go out for a meal, they drink some alcohol with their meal, they can't drive their car home, so they get an Uber, all right? So I think it's kind of smart, Uber thinks, okay, who's taking Ubers? It's probably a lot of people who are dining out and they've had a little bit to drink, and so thus they don't drive their car, they take an Uber. So that's kind of interesting. People who travel on business also take Ubers a lot, like to and from the airport and hotels and stuff, so you can see that 3% on hotel and airfare. It's quite interesting. And then you've got 2% actually on Uber rides itself, 1% on everything else, or sorry, 2% on online purchases and 1% everything else. So I guess they've done online purchases because they're thinking, well, these people using Uber, they're probably tech savvy, they're using an app to hail rides, so they probably do a lot of online purchasing, Amazon.com, all that kind of stuff. So they really have sort of researched what their users do, and they've offered a very generous rate of earning. 4%. I mean, that's better. 4% on dining is better than the Sapphire Reserve. Now, let's have a look at some of the perks of this card. So they're offering a $50 streaming subscription credit for services like Netflix, online services. That's when you spend over $5,000 on your card in a year. And I think probably if you use this as one of your main cards, you probably will spend over $5,000. I know I definitely would if I was using it as my main card or one of my main cards. Then you have this $600 mobile phone damage or theft coverage when you pay your mobile phone bill with your card. Then exclusive access to certain events. Well, I don't know what this is. It might be good or it might not be good, and I'm assuming it's probably going to be limited to cities like New York, LA. No foreign transaction fees. That's quite unusual for a no-fee card, no annual fee card, unless it's Capital One. And redeem your rewards on the go. Okay, this is what we've talked about already. Uber credits, gift cards, cashback, with a simple tap within the app. That's how you do it. So again, with the perks and benefits, it looks like they've kind of tried to build this around what kind of people they think their Uber riders are. So obviously, if you're riding with Uber, you have to have a smartphone, right? Because that's how you access the app. I mean, who doesn't have a smartphone these days anyway? But people who use Uber definitely will have a smartphone. So $600 mobile phone theft or damage coverage, that really makes sense, doesn't it? And I guess using Uber, pulling out your phone, it could it could kind of put your phone more at risk, right? If you're standing on the sidewalk tapping your phone, maybe you'll drop it. I don't know. Maybe that's just to sort of like appease people who like blame Uber if they smash their phone when they're like trying to call an Uber. Anyway, then you got the streaming services. That's pretty cool. I mean, I think they're just thinking in general, people who do Uber are like tech savvy people who probably stream, you know, it's not like your grandma who still watches everything on, you know, normal TV. They're definitely people who are into a technological way of doing things, using technology and stuff. No foreign transaction fees, you know, that kind of makes sense because, you know, a lot of businessmen use Uber to go on business, you know, to travel to the airport when they're going on a business trip, so they could use the card in addition, you know, while they're on their business trip overseas. So what do I think about this card? Well, it's a solid offering. I first heard about it when someone left a comment on my Capital One Saver card, that dining card from Capital One, on that video. And they said, oh, forget this card, 3% on dining, who wants that? Uber is offering 4% on dining. So it's definitely, you know, a really great card if you're going to be dining a lot because you're getting 4% back. And, you know, you can use that as cashback or for Uber. I mean, there's really no point having it as an Uber credit. The Uber credit is basically the same as cashback, to be honest. I mean, I would just redeem it on my card as cashback and then I got the option to use it for Uber or use it for whatever. But anyway, we won't go there. So, you know, I mean, it looks like an okay card. Just lastly, I'll talk about what I would have expected. And, you know, maybe there'll be an annual fee version of this card where you get a little bit more in the future. I would have expected to have the card maybe be like a $99 a year card and give you Uber VIP status as part of it. I mean, that's more normal, right? For a co-branded card, it would normally, like a hotel card, they would normally give you silver status or gold status or whatever, like Hilton Surpass cards, $75 a year, and then gives you Hilton Gold status, right? So this maybe $75 or $100 a year, $99 a year gives you Uber VIP status. Uber VIP status is not quite as much as it's cracked up to be. Even their own CEO kind of admitted that it's a little bit of a joke of a elite status, but it does mean that you get basically drivers with better ratings. Like I think it's 4.8 or above, I'm not quite sure. But some people have complained that it actually takes the cars longer to get to you because there isn't always a good enough driver close to you, and so they call a driver from further away and it actually takes longer and makes you, you know, it's more inconvenient. But you can choose whether you have the VIP car or not, I believe. So yeah, I would have expected something like Uber VIP status. Then I would have also expected perhaps maybe some kind of like Uber credit. I mean, even the Amex Platinum has an Uber credit, so I would have expected an Uber credit from an Uber card, right? Because obviously they can kind of get it at cost price, so they could give you more for your money. One thing I thought would be cool would be kind of like an Uber upgrade credit or a certain number of upgradable rides per year. Like say you get like 5 upgrades per year. You order an Uber X and you get an Uber Black. And that would be kind of cool because, you know, most people probably take Uber X most of the time, right? But if you're like going out on a date or you want to impress someone or something like that, it is cool to like call an Uber Black, right? So, you know, that's kind of like one of my ideas. You would get like Uber VIP status, you just get upgrades and then all the perks of this card. I just wonder whether the current card with its 4% category, whether it's really going to make money for Uber or whether this is going to be more of a promotional thing just to encourage people into the sort of lifestyle of taking Uber a lot and then they'll make their money off of increased business with, you know, Uber riding. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, guys, leave your comments below. I've gone on for long enough about this. Tell me what you think. Are you going to apply for this card? Just let me know what you think. And if you're new, please subscribe to our channel. We have regular videos every week on credit card tips and tricks. Give this video a like. I'll see you next time. Bye.